we're seeing Lee Sin. Lee Sin always, especially in tournament metas specifically. Although it's funny, we've talked before about how Lee Sin actually, sometimes we don't even see Lee Sin in tournaments like the OLS. It actually takes until seasonals where we actually start to see have some
Nobody
success.
wants to sweat through playing, you know, 6 rounds of Lee Sin for $100 prize pool.
Yeah.
It's mentally taxing. And it looks like we're going to get Vandal Pirates up against Timo Sejuani for the first game here. WhatAmI up against DrChekhov. And we'll see if we can actually get this glorious evolution Shellfolk out of WhatAmI in the next game. Because I would imagine that Lee Sin is definitely the deck that you're looking to ban if you're Chekhov.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Especially in a tournament like this, which, I mean, and I don't think WhatAmI's too mad about that if that happens. I still think we have pretty good matchups across the board. But
I don't know how much WhatAmI enjoys playing Lee Sin, but he has found a lot of success with it. You know, back when the Madmen were still a team, Karma Lee Sin was one of their hallmarks, and WhatAmI would bring it to nearly everything.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, parlay right off the rip here from Chekhov to WhatAmI. That is going to feel real good for Chekhov getting the team off the board early, and really
that's
bad for WhatAmI. Yeah,
that's a one-of parlay. You don't play around that. You say, look, it's turn 1. I have the attack token. Let's get Timo. But that is an absolute disaster. We even hit an elusive unit with the flight.
Wow. Okay.
No GP just yet, but I mean, actually, the flight is a really nice 1-drop to rip, so that you can continuously stack towards that Gangplank level of progression while, like, you know, maintaining cards.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best 1-drops you get out of this. So.
Okay, that Mirai Warden was spooking me a little bit. Like, in what universe? I guess if you knew you were going to top deck Pokestick, maybe just setting it up for the Make It Rain, really taking advantage of the fact that it is a 3 HP unit rather than a tough one now. So you would set it down to 1 health, and then if they go for the open attack, you have the answer. But ultimately deciding that it was pretty likely WhatAmI was going to develop. And now, got 2 Stone Stackers.
Yeah, double stone stackers here, looking pretty good for WhatAmI. Going to trade pretty well with the board as well. Not necessarily with the other stone stackers, but getting the double impact off, going to feel really nice.
And this is where we get to see that nerf come full swing, as I imagine Chekhov is going to open the turn with the Make It Rain before WhatAmI can get down any additional units. This will delay the Lecturing Yordle if that is the route that Chekhov wants to go. Might just open attack with the Stone Stackers to try and clear out one and then finish off the other with a Poison Dart from the Lecturing Yordle. But WhatAmI has a Lecturing Yordle of their own, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, to make it rain.
WhatAmI has not just 1, but 3 Lecturing Yordles in the end, so which might actually be pretty big. I mean, those are some beefy units. Those are going to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, the first one's going to die to a Monster Harpoon because the Make It Rain did proc the Plunder for the turn. And I would imagine this is exactly what you want to be using Monster Harpoon on, since it won't kill Sejuani on its own. And that also means WhatAmI is going to be able to kill the Stone Stacker unless we send it face for the Sejuani level up progression, because she is only at 1 out of 5. We do have Babbling Bjerg in hand, which Sejuani's the only target for, so WhatAmI has access to that champion.
I do like I like getting rid of the stone stackers. I think, you know, everything's pretty even right now, especially with what seemingly was a not that great start for WhatAmI, seeing that flight come off, the parlay on the Timo. So I do think you want to keep things even, and having the other Lecturing Yordles come down. I mean, you're going to have a lot more of these Poison Darts coming, so I think you're not too worried about leveling up the Sejuani at this point. But here we go, getting 2 this turn. Only going to be able to use 1, unfortunately, only having 1 mana there, which feels bad. So DrChekhov going to get the better of that trade in that sense, where we will be able to utilize all Poison Darts on the side of Chekhov. And this one actually, oh, man. So, this
is rough for WhatAmI, because it's turn 5. You're still only at 1 out of 5 on your Sejuani, but because you have that Pokey Stick in hand, you really want to throw the dart at the Lecturing Yordle. And Doza, I just don't know how big of an impact this Sejuani is going to be able to have. Maybe this isn't a matchup where you need it leveled up, except I would probably totally disagree with that. I would think this is a matchup where you very much want that Sejuani level. And it looks like Chekhov, having the Dreadway in hand, it's going to come down a lot later than the Babbling Bjerg, but the Gangplank is going to come down leveled, whereas the Sejuani is only going to probably be at like 3 out of 5 by the time she actually hits the board on turn, 8, 9? Because, again, WhatAmI is taking the pass, saying, I don't want to, I'd rather you float your little thingy than make me try to get my... Oh, yeah, we're just going to go for the Sejuani, and that means that we are forgoing the Lecturing Yordle to get the level up progression.
I'm also a little bit surprised Chekhov did not play the Pokey Stick on the other Lecturing Yordle. Maybe just, having Chekhov's be so low in health, not really worth saving our Lecturing Yordle either. Maybe that's the thought there. But this Babbling Bjerg, I think, is actually going to get a lot of work done, including the Conchologist, right? I mean, now we have a much wider field than Chekhov. We have 2 decent-sized units, and now we can actually have a pretty good open attack. We'll see if the The Inventive Chemist comes down here just as at least one chump blocker for the Mycologist.
I don't think I love this, though. I think I would have preferred the Lecturing Yordle instead of the Babbling Beard to, get our Sejuani to 2 out of 5, because JDoza, this is a Sejuani deck.
Yeah.
It is turn 6. We're at 1 out of 5. We are going into turn 7, 1 out of 5. This is a turn 11 leveled Sejuani at the absolute earliest.
Oh, well, when you put it like that.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Gangplank's at 4 out of 5 for Chekhov. He's got a Pokey Stick. He can level the Gangplank this turn.
Yeah.
But as you had mentioned, we do have the wide board. That is the advantage of the Babbling Beard. Maybe WhatAmI just saying, hey, yeah, Sejuani won't level until turn 11. It'd be, like turn 10 or turn 9 if I did play the Lecturing Yordle, but this game's not lasting that long. I'm trying to kill on turn 9, so it doesn't really matter if I've got the level progression on the Sejuani or not. She would never be leveled on that turn anyway.
And Gangplank here doesn't seem like too bad of an option for Chekhov. I mean, it kind of stuffs the rest of the attack for WhatAmI, so that advantage of being wide wouldn't really be that great right now. Now, we're still going to push through 4, pulling the vulnerable Chemist here, which is going to feel pretty good for WhatAmI. But that's, 15, 14 at that point. Things I think are still looking pretty good for Chekhov. And Chekhov actually has another Lecturing Yordle to match WhatAmi's that you were saying we should have thrown down earlier, Boulevard. So I do think things are starting to look up for Chekhov, like you mentioned, because this Sejuani is just not even close, man. The Gangplank is going to be able to absolutely trout Sejuani because of that. If the Gangplank comes down leveled, it's going to be 6 attack. That's going to trade with the Sejuani, and it's going to be really hard for WhatAmI to deal with that at that point.
This Pokey Stick does represent a Gangplank level up, which is huge because Chekhov can play that either pre-combat or post-combat. If you play it pre-combat, yes, you'll take probably a little bit more damage from the Sejuani Overwhelm onto the Keg, but it sort of dissuades the rest of the attacks from WhatAmI. And then if you play Dreadway, you know that WhatAmI is Bandle City and not Piltover's on like a more traditional deck, meaning there's no Thermogenic Beam. There's no way that WhatAmI is going to be able to kill that Gangplank or Dreadway, and you are going to get the best powerful explosion of your career.
Well, the Flight is actually going to come down before this Gangplank, so it looks like we're opting to get the Gangplank down after the fact. Yep, and here he comes. And the Flight actually not blocking, too, so Chekhov not caring about their health right now, saying I can go down to 7, probably
and I think
because we can clean up the game next turn.
This really indicates the Dreadway play because now the Flight represents 4 elusive damage. And that's also going to be 6 damage from the Powderful Explosion. So
that's just game. I think that's just game.
So we have the Pokey Stick for the Keg, which does change the math a little bit here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that
the Brittle Steel
dies.
Brittle Steel on Flight also.
Yeah, not to mention we have Fury of the North to save the Sejuani and kill the Gangplank.
But just because we have answers to all that stuff to stop me and WhatAmI's in a good situation, this is still
especially
really
because
rough.
Obviously Dreadway's going to come down. What does that do? That's right, JDoza. It draws another Gangplank, which means Chekhov will... I'm very surprised not to see the Dreadway here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's because I think WhatAmI plays Ice Veil Archer.
Actually, yes, I believe you're right.
Archer, so I guess it makes sense that you really don't want this Gangplank getting frostbitten, but now just going to lose it to the Sejuani.
Yeah, there's the Pokey Stick, like you were mentioned, on the Powder Keg. And
there's no follow-up for Chekhov. There's no way to utilize this Keg beforehand. No double up, no make it rain, no Pokey Stick. Just going to lose the Keg, lose the Gangplank. And because we made the consideration to take all that damage last turn, and WhatAmI still has this very wide board, I think Chekhov might just be dead here.
No way. I can't believe WhatAmI possibly turning this around here.
It's still a little dependent because Chekhov still has 8 mana for a redevelopment, can go very wide, could even play a Lecturing Yordle and kill the Conchologist. So, and throw that down alongside like a Mirai Warden.
There you go,
yeah. We've got the match on board.
Yep. But there's no answer for this Sejuani. This Sejuani could just go over the top. I'm thinking maybe Fury of the North here. All right, no, the Lecturing Yordle blocking the Sejuani. No, that's still lethal.
Oh, yeah, still the Entomb.
Oh my god.
We would need to find one more damage on the side of WhatAmI, which I think we can do with Teemo.
Yeah, we have all the tools we need to actually close things out. Let's see what's off the top for Chekhov. There's another Three Sisters. That's not it.
Three Sisters, yeah.
Oh my god.
Even just double Fury of the North on the Teemo.
Yeah, yep. Double Fury of the North on Timo or Sejuani. Either or is going to close it out here. The Entomb closes it out. There's so many different options. Let's see if WhatAmI goes for it here.
I think Chekhov was just maybe playing around a little bit too much, worried about the powder, the Ice Veil Archer on top of everything that had happened in the previous turn with the Pokey Stick onto the Keg, as well as the Fury of the North onto the Sejuani. Would have been an absolute disaster scenario, but I think really gets punished here for not playing the Dreadway and clearing out the remainder of the board.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you were kind of joking about the best powderful explosion of his career, and but to see that big of a setup for a powderful explosion and still have it be a loss for DrChekhov, that is insane. I thought we had it in the bag here. Is it? Wait, did we just? All right, we're taking a very safe route here.
No, that is not a safe route. I don't know what that was.
Wait, what? Wow.
How did he know?
It doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. He knew. He knew.
How did he know?
He knew. He knew.
Wait, how'd you do that?
He knew. He just knew. I can't. I said safe route because I'm thinking, okay, maybe he like just wants to wait for the shrooms, which is I guess what he was thinking. But now that you say that's not safe, yeah, like what are you actually playing around in that case? And I think the answer is nothing. Like
second Fury of the North onto the Sejuani would have been lethal even if the Teemo died, if there was some kind of double up or monster harpoon or something. But WhatAmI apparently just knowing, in tune with the mushrooms, understanding Chekhov. What did he have? 10 in the deck and 20 something cards. There was a very low odds shroom play, but
yeah, I could not believe that. That's insane.
I'm left bewildered by that game.
I am. I am as well.
I did not understand.
So WhatAmI going up 1-0 here over Chekhov. And let's see if we can make it a 2-0 victory, or if this is going to go to a game 3 with a Chekhov win here, having the run back with Bilgewater Bandle City.
And it's going to be rough for Chekhov because I would imagine if we do pick up our win with Bandle Pirates, I don't imagine WhatAmI looked at Draven, Scion, and Teemo Swain and said, "Yep, I'm banning Teemo Swain. Give me that Draven Scion. I want all that smoke." No, I would imagine that if Chekhov does win here, we're going to have to play Shellfolk into Teemo Swain.
Yep. Well, we got 2 Vi in hand, a couple turns away before we can play her.
Yeah, did want to mention no Ezreal in this list for WhatAmI. Just 3 Vi.
Just 3 Vi. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So just, I guess, kind of just going all in on either the Vi win count. Wait, is he playing, Jesus, what's the Caitlyn card we kept talking about yesterday? I can't remember the name of it now. Ambush, yes.
No.
No Ambush. Huh.
No Ambush.
See, my first thought is that with playing only 3 Vi, maybe you're going more all in on the Vi win con, so you play an Ambush or something like that.
Well, I mean, you've got the Glorious Evolution win con.
Yeah, yep.
And we do see the Poro cannons to accompany that. So maybe just thinking that, like, if you are playing Ezreal, it's a few too many win conditions, and you can clunk up a little bit between, like, dead Ezreals and dead Glorious Evolutions and awkward Vi's. But here on Chekhov's side, doing a very good job of keeping up the level progression of the Gangplank, has the triple Scrappy Bomb, as well as a decent amount of damage already done to WhatAmI, and now the nerfs to the Bass of Burden and the Tenor of Terror really going to be felt here.
Did you just say Bass of Burden?
Yeah.
It's definitely Base of Burden.
Oh, it's definitely Base of Burden. It's tenor and bass.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's a fish.
But I really like calling it Bass of Burden.
Oh, man. That's
just
a cool picture,
fun little thing for Boulevard.
All right, Stygian Onlooker, the card that I've always given a lot of credit for. We haven't really seen too much Nightfall lately, rip. But not going to hit the field. And this is going to be a really, really wide field for Chekhov here. Going to be able to go around the Base of Burden and Tenor of Terror. And which both, something to note, both recently nerfed. So you notice the 1-3 and the 3-1 there instead of the 2-3 and the 3-2. So a little less impactful. Haha, impactful.
That's not the pun you think it is every time you say it.
I'm literally just always going to do the... I'm just always going to mention
It's better with Tristana because she actually got impact.
All right, good point.
But we are going to line up the blocks. And actually, the nerfs just not being felt here, these trades would have happened regardless, even if the Stony Stacker still had the 2 HP in the tough and the base still had the 2 health. So, nothing really being felt here, but we are down to just 6 life on the side of WhatAmI in a regional combination that famously has no healing. But Chekhov doesn't have the finishing power immediately available. We are still very wide. We're probably going to I would imagine throw this
We have a
poison
lot of
dart at the
damage still,
Nexus.
though. Yeah, we
we've
what do we
got
have 4 right now? Technically, if we get the Crackshot Corsair down at some point, so
yeah.
I think Chekhov with almost like any top deck is going to have a pretty good chance of taking this home.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, WhatAmI has tops maybe 2 more turns. That's not what you're looking for.
I don't think Gangplank's leveled, so this Minimorph will actually stop him from, getting played this turn and going into an open attack and having the powderful explosion, even if he does get Minimorphed. Actually goes for the pre-combat Crackshot Corsair.
Okay.
I guess just really not wanting to give WhatAmI the option to not attack this turn. And saying, look, here's my Crackshot Corsair, you need to kill this, and then I can safely develop my Gangplank.
Well, we're going to at least get rid of the Corsair for free, essentially. Yep, there's the Gangplank. And that's the thing, too. WhatAmI can't necessarily pass back. I mean, there's the argument to be made where you don't take the kill onto the Crackshot Corsair, so you can kill something like Gangplank, but you can't afford to take that damage.
And WhatAmI is totally safe this turn. We've got the Minimorph plus the Mystic Shot. That's also going to level Vi.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Things are looking up here, Boulevard, for WhatAmI.
Well, looking up is a strong way to put it, because WhatAmI has no hand, right? We've got 2 Vi and 2 Glorious Evolution, which is absolutely nothing. If these Glorious Evolutions were Ezreal's, I think WhatAmI would actually almost be favored here.
Yeah.
But Chekhov is going to have access to 2 kegs, and WhatAmI has no interaction for that. Any 1 damage ping off the top is lethal for Chekhov.
And this is why I say what I say about Glorious Evolution, because it feels so bad right now. What is this card doing? What do we have? There's the Pokey Stick. That's game.
Oh, but we got
Hidden Pathways.
We got some draw from WhatAmI.
We
Can we find interaction for the keg?
That is not it.
We can't burst past. We need to Concologist and try to find something. Oh, but we go for the attack on the kegs, and that's going to be lethal for Chekhov.
Yeah, the Pokey Stick top deck with the triple keg. Feels bad, man. And that does mean that Chekhov is going to be able to successfully bring this to a game 3.
Probably would have been lethal anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, just too much damage there early from Chekhov, right?
All right, now we get to see Glorious Evolution Shellfolk up against Swain Teemo. A matchup that I am wholly unfamiliar with. Never seen it in my life. Matchup charts for this do not exist. Probably never been played on ladder.
All right, here we go. Getting into good old game 3 here. Love to see it. Love the 3 games in the top cut.
These games have been going pretty fast, too. They still have half an hour on the clock going into this 3rd game here.
Oh, yeah.
And those games were, I mean, they were fast, but like game 1, went to like turn 9, turn 10, second game again going to like turn 8.
All right, there's the Shellfolk early. There's another Glorious Evolution. This deck really wants WhatAmI to play Glorious Evolution during these games right now.
It wants to show us the animation.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because you look at Glorious Evolution, you cast it, you get an animation, you say, yeah, cool, big 10-mana spell should have an animation. Why does Spell Thief have an animation? It's a little 1-mana dinky thing that I have to watch go off 17 times in a Zoe mirror.
I think we had this discussion before. We were trying to, something with like champion spells we landed on, but Spell Thief isn't a champion spell. People are like, oh,
it's her signature spell. I'm like, no, her signature spell is Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why it's her champion spell. So I agree with you. It's a little weird. But
okay, we're going to just get a Pokey Stick onto the Otterpuss.
Minimorph and Shellfolk in hand. So the hand a little bogged down here for WhatAmI. We do have a Pokey Stick for WhatAmI too, so that should be able to deal with the Loping Telescope, the return Loping Telescope for Chekhov, which will be nice.
Well, the one thing I will say for WhatAmI is that with Chekhov running this sort of non-traditional Swain list, we're actually really, really like scrounging for ways to kill a Curious Shellfolk, because one thing that is notably missing from this list is Death's Hand. So without Death's Hand, we don't have access to like Death's Hand Flock, which is sort of the easy way that you would kill a Shellfolk. It's pretty much got to be a Scorched Earth. You don't have any 2 damage pings to pair. I guess you could Buster Shot Flock.
Well, without the Death's Hand, this is what we were talking about earlier too. It's Swain just having difficulty leveling. I mean, Death's Hand is another great way for Swain to level, right?
Yeah, I guess Death's Hand or Buster Shot is sort of your replacement for that as your 3 damage spell, but like kegs do matter, and the TF red card with a keg or a Death's Hand with a keg, something that's like 5 damage.
Yeah, the double points of damage there. So, but Vi coming down really early. We saw the instant Thermal Beam. That is how good lecturing Yordle is. You see it, you get rid of it. You do not want that bad boy sticking around for too long. Now we do get some choices here, and it looks like we are going to go with. All right. So I actually. Wait, oh, is that another one? This is another one. All right.
Oh, I was gonna say the other side of the bracket is already finished.
Really?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Deriva is playing Quath.
Man, you guys are just ripping through these games. All right. So we're going to get... All right, that's the main decked Poison Dart that we were talking about. If I remember correctly, Boulevard, there's only one of those for Chekhov, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to think about it because WhatAmI was main decking 2 in his Teemo Sejuani.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
So, I mean, we picked up the Scorched Earth, so now we actually do have the removal for the Shellfolk should it come down.
Or even this Vi for that matter. The Vi is actually pretty threatening right now. Just because it deals with this board a lot. You have a bunch of 2 attack units, so they're very slowly going to whittle away at this Vi's health. Here comes the Shellfolk, like you mentioned, so this might be... Yeah. I mean, do you just instantly Poison Dart Scorched Earth? I think, yeah.
Yes.
Yep, here we
go.
Because
I think Chekhov might just be attacking with everything, in which case you don't want that blocker there. Also, you obviously don't want your opponent to untap with the Curious Shellfolk, because if you try to remove it, they have some burst speed things that they can do. I mean, there's a time trick in the hand for WhatAmI. Would get him 2 cards.
All right, a little damage onto WhatAmI as well, and that's scary with this deck. I mean, we saw in, what was it, the second game, where WhatAmI just took way too much damage early on, and because, like you had mentioned earlier, Boulevard, there's just really no good way for this deck to heal. That early damage can actually play a big role in how WhatAmI plays the later parts of the game, and
yeah,
we'll see if it's going to matter again in this game. Already down to 14 now.
Conchologist grabbing Ravenous Flock, getting the answer for that Vi.
Oh, the RNG. Oh, how I love thee.
But this does mean that Chekhov isn't going to be able to get down a threat this turn. You know, tapping down to 4 mana means we can't play Swain, we can't play Leviathan, and WhatAmI might rip off that Glorious Evolution on the following turn if we can bank this 3 spell mana, and then one part of the Swain Leviathan combo gets established, you mini-morph it for 5 mana on the following turn, and maybe play the game from there. But that is a huge tempo loss, and when you're getting into the late game against something like a Swain deck, it's really hard to try and take that tempo loss in the late game and say, yeah, you know, I can just spend 10 mana while they jam a Leviathan, and I'll deal with it later after I've, you know, tapped out of my spell mana. It's not a realistic situation. Like, we're just going to rip it anyway.
Wow.
Here comes Glorious Evolution.
And you know, I feel like a broken record now, but I'm going to say it again. I said it earlier. This card... I don't get it.
This is a lot of damage that Chekhov can push this turn with this Arachnoid Sentry. Or we could even just play Swain and Teemo. Don't recommend the Swain, though. This is technically a fearsome blocker because it has Augment.
Yeah, we do have... The nice thing right now is we have Otterpuss in hand. We actually have another Otterpuss that we can grab from the Trinket Trade, and they're going to be reduced cost. So, I mean... we have the ability to get down some additional blockers right now, not to mention we have Mystic Shot, we have some Fumes, so we can deal with most of the board. If the Swain does come down, like you mentioned, we will have a fearsome blocker with this Augmented Conchologist on board, but we also have the Mini-Morph for something like a Swain or a Leviathan, probably waiting on the Leviathan there, but either way, I think, you know, WhatAmi's hand, this was, like you had mentioned, Boulevard, probably the best possible opportunity to play Glorious Evolution, because you really do have answers for almost everything from your opponent.
Yeah, I'm not sure if WhatAmI would have played it if Chekhov opened with the Leviathan, but because we started off with House Spider, we knew that we weren't really threatened by a Leviathan, and of course Swain is a lot easier to answer once we have, you know, down these units that can go ahead and get into fearsome range thanks to the Augment. So yeah, this is actually not going to be, what is this, like 5 damage getting pushed through by Chekhov if WhatAmI doesn't commit a Mystic Shot?
Do you ever consider Buster Shotting the Conchologist? Like, just to get rid of the fearsome blocker?
Well, you would just get pranked twice, and then the Otterpuss would be at 3 attack.
Okay, yep. Oh, yeah, and you can actually see both pranks in hand, so, okay.
Yeah, so you know that WhatAmI has
a fearsome blocker no matter what. And this will actually trade with the Swain, thanks to, again, the Augment, if we do decide to rip this Mystic Shot.
Also, Buster Shot Flock is your only way to remove a Curious Shellfolk at the moment, which is something that you need to keep in mind.
Oh, man, all these 1 mana pings are just so good. Oh, man, too bad we can't... We actually could Trinket Trade and play one of the 1 mana spells right now to just straight up trade with this Swain.
And it looks like that's going to be the case. We're lining up the Pokey Stick. Going to put the Conchologist up to 5 attack thanks to the Augment.
See, I'm thinking
about killing the Swain versus saving the or killing the Loping Telescope.
That's what I'm thinking. Kill the Loping Telescope with the Pokey Stick and then play the Trinket trade. Yeah, and then you still trade with the Swain. Wait, are we? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you did exactly what you wanted.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
So it is gonna trade.
Still no threats for WhatAmI. And, you know, as cool as Glorious Evolution is, it doesn't actually help you play Thermogenic Beam any easier, which means that Leviathan is still pretty much your entire turn of commitment. You could mini-morph it straight away, but that does still leave Chekhov pretty wide.
Yeah, and we see another Glorious Evolution played. That's the unfortunate part about that is, you know, everything. Augment doesn't stack. You know, Augment should stack. Maybe Augment should stack. Would that be good? Probably
Maybe
be broken.
You should stack.
Augment would be broken, I think.
Think about that?
Probably, yeah. All right, here we go. Lots and lots of removal coming out here.
Yeah, and this will probably be a second Glorious Evolution turn for WhatAmI, unless Chekhov goes for the Leviathan and WhatAmI feels like they need to really keep up the removal of the threats, because we do still have this Thermogenic Beam. And I would imagine that Chekhov, you're running out of things to play, right? Eventually the Leviathan does have to come down.
Yep.
But I would imagine Swain's probably going to come down first, a little bit less of a mana commitment. No, just going to go with the House Spider and say, hey, WhatAmI? I'm just staying a little bit wider. Just a little bit too wide. Let's see what Time Trick finds.
Okay. Another Loping Telescope. Vi. All right. We passed on it and got a Poro Cannon, which is not terrible.
Really looking for Shellfolk. This will be Thermo Beamed, I imagine.
Now, I'm trying to think. I mean, one of these Daring Poros gets dealt with, but we also have, we were talking about this yesterday, there's an Event Horizon chilling there on the left. There's the Shellfolk off the top.
And that's huge.
There's no way to deal with this.
Because I was trying to calculate whether or not WhatAmI could have lethal this turn.
Oh, wow.
With these Poros because of the Augment.
Yep.
And Chekhov, you know, probably going to have to commit a few things to this, and then the Shellfolk just gets to come down, prank a few cards, steal away some things. And there's no removal for the Shellfolk in hand.
No, and that's going to be the problem here. We have the answer to the Daring Poros because we also have the Buster Shop, but this is going to be 2 pranks coming in hot, and that's going to be a lot more cards generated here for WhatAmI.
Yeah, that does mean, though, that Chekhov is still very wide around WhatAmI. We still have the mana to play Swain this turn.
Yeah. And, well, we could play our own Swain, too. Oh, we didn't get the Swain.
You can't prank champions.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. That would be interessante if we're able to get a Swain here. But, all right, we do get the Yordle. And that's a big old Shellfolk. The Yordle also is going to be able to buff up the Curious Shellfolk's health, which is probably going to be pretty useful, too. So I imagine, yep, we're going to get this Guile here onto it, prevent that buff from going off.
Yeah, and I think with the Arachnoid Sentry picked up, we might be a little bit safer on the side. Ooh. So there are a few shrooms in the deck here.
Yep.
So this Swain could just end the game if, the appropriate amount of mushrooms come off the top of the deck here. We also now have Ravenous Flock in hand to pick off one of these units if WhatAmI does go for an attack.
All right, I was going to say, do we play the Sentry onto the Swain to try to get these attacks through? But it's really awkward because of the Guile still in hand. And,
yeah, I don't know if you actually... Okay, yeah, we are going to attack, and that means this is going to die to Ravenous Flock and clear out one more blocker. I was going to say we need to play the Sentry. Even if we're not attacking, I think we just need the blocker.
Yep.
But now Swain is... this is dealt with. We have Mini-Morph, we have Sump Fumes, we have 2 blockers. We're going to take a little bit of damage, but I mean, Chekhov is already down a Leviathan. This Swain is probably getting mini-morphed.
There's one.
That's big.
There's the one. Oh, there's another stun. We do have the 2 Sump Fumes, and we have the mini-morph. So we can prevent damage from Swain. We can prevent... I mean, I think we live... Wait.
Barely.
We live barely, and honestly, with more shrooms in the deck, this is not looking good.
Yeah, and we actually can't even kill the mini-morph because we haven't added a card to hand. Actually, I think the mini-morph...
No,
it's this game. Because the Sump Fumes aren't at 3 damage.
Yep. Wow. And Chekhov taking down WhatAmI to advance to the top 4 of the OLS.